So you'll see this is that people will keep saying, because they've been told and they want to believe, they're framing them, they're framing them, they're framing them. Of what? Framing them of what? Of what? So, Taint is back in the news, and we should talk about it, because this one's really interesting, because typically it's only bad news coming out of the Taint story. Like time and time and time again, everything we hear something about Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan, my Waluigi. It's something bad for him. But this time, it's actually good for him. And we should talk about it because it's incredibly interesting. Usually it's just he's in jail, but longer this time. Also, he's crying while in jail. But this time, it's about some of the women and the story that's being told about him. And this story is now being heralded, being held up as proof that the Tater Tots and all of his top G fans have been right the entire time. And now people are saying that all of the women should go to jail or like be executed or whatever. I'm not sure. Something along those lines. They're all liars and freaks and fiends because something recently leaked from what possibly could be an Andrew Tate fan, an insider, has leaked what they're calling wiretaps from inside of the Tate house. Now, if you remember from the first raid, Tate, or the Romanian police, set around wiretaps around his home, the villa that he has in Bucharest. And they said that they collected the information, and we didn't hear anything about the CCTV footage that they had and collected any of the wiretap audio that they had and had been looking over. We hadn't heard anything about that until supposedly recently, with this article dropping in the Romanian press. And this is translated, so if things sound a little weird, that's why, because this has been translated from Romanian into English. Unbelievable wiretapping of victims of the Tate brothers. All right, let's read this a little bit. Two of the girls who claimed to have been victims of the Tate brothers were intercepted discussing how to make fools of themselves before the police descended, but also how they determined how to disguise themselves so to not be recognized after law enforcement showed up. Curious, right? And so when this dropped, and I can promise you, like, near everybody who's talking about this hasn't read anything that's going on, hasn't read any of the messages. And if they did, they have really poor reading skills, because this is not the W that Tate fans would like to think that it is. They're holding this up as No Jumper said that alleged wiretaps reveal the Tate brothers were framed by their victims. They're saying that this is a framing by the girls, that it's a setup by the women to take them down. As well as the Daily Loud reported, they were allegedly framed by their victims. You see a lot of this. If you look through this, even like Andrew, if you just type in his name, the quivering Andrew Tate about to be let free, bombshell evidence about him and how they've been framed and bodied. Obviously, Aiden Ross came out to say that this is definitive proof that he's been framed and the girl should go to jail. And if you think that, and if Aiden Ross is saying something, you should probably believe the opposite. This guy has the IQ of your average mini fridge temperature. So that's something. If I know that, that's how I know that it's probably in the wrong. The things are going in that are not great for Tate in reality. But instead of me just believing that, let's read through this. I read through all of the messages last night to see if there was anything that could back up any of these claims, and let's just see if there are. In several wiretaps, the two women who claimed to have been victims by the Tate brothers shared secrets and offered various advice to help them in their chosen careers. After finding themselves in the center of a scandal of major proportions, the two were caught trying to figure out how to disguise themselves so they wouldn't be recognized by adult fans. Now, does this sound like framing? Because this is where the article originally came from, okay? This is the source that all of these documents that they're going to be showing come from. This doesn't sound like framing so far. It doesn't sound like they were like, I don't know, like cartoonishly like stroking their armpit hair and together and being like, muhaha, here's how we take down Andrew Tate. I'm not sure if that's what happened, but let's read to figure out if that's what happened. These supposed wiretaps come in the form of WhatsApp messages. And let me just ask you the question. Why are WhatsApp messages being called wiretaps? That's my thing. Like, they're saying this is wiretapping. I don't think this is wiretapping. It seems like they just got their WhatsApp. Would you call it wiretapping if I like handed over, God forbid, Snapchat messages the police. I don't. You need access to their phones. Yeah, but that's not wired. Yeah, and that's not wiretapping. That's just like getting messages off their phone. Police wiretap the phone by asking for messages from phone. Crazy stuff. Anyways, let's read some of the first ones. This was written as 2 days before the raid. All right. And it's like cut off here. So these are edited. Just so you know, these are obviously edited. They took away the girls' names and everything. So we don't know exactly who these women are, but these are simply just WhatsApp messages that they were able to acquire. Alonia. Aloina? Are you a good actress? I? True. I practice. Perfecto. Question marks. Just play it cool. Got it. Like you don't know anything. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears out. Question marks. And play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, babe. Okay. So it does look like they are plotting something. They're planning to do something. Whether or not that's framing, I guess we'll figure out by reading this. You know these are women because she then says, I can't even, which we all know women do be talking, as we all know. And this is 1 day before the police raid. We are so good though. We need a fucking Oscar. Let's go. Also, I'm not sure if these are really question marks because they like appear in the middle of words. So I'm not sure if this is like translated and it's translated into question marks when they're not supposed to be question marks. I don't know about like Romanian and how their writing system works, but you gotta, it's kind of hard to read some of these because they had to be translated from, some of these things had to be translated from Romanian. So remember that. And change my name so we'll not start with an A. Lol, got it. So they want to change their name. They want to disguise. They want to put on an act. All right. This is 1 day before the first raid. This is still 1 day before the first raid. Yeah, I told you to be like saying nice things and we are hurt or shit like that and that. We do love them, just don't like the situation. So they will not think we are really against them, you know? Oh, and here comes, this is the real meat that people are talking about. Yeah, that's smart. Play the victim. I mean, we are. But like, yeah, act like we still love them and stuff. Haha, as she says. I mean, we are? Wait, what? So I would like to talk about this for a second because it's incredibly interesting. This is as far as this goes when it comes to supposedly framing them of something. People said they were like set up, they're framed by the girls to look like they're worse than they are. Does anybody know what the word framing means? Like, isn't framing, like, I may be stupid and you let me know, but isn't framing when you say somebody did something when they actually didn't, or you set somebody up to do something when they actually didn't? Something along those lines, right? I thought framing just when you say that bad things didn't happen and that you just want to leave. Just broken, could just be broken characters. It might be broken characters. That's true. It's possible that translating from WhatsApp, it just makes characters that aren't in English just random question marks, which is definitely possible. Right? And this is after the first raid. Tomorrow we should wear makeup and sunglasses so nobody really notices what we look like or who we are. Yes, lol. We be writing a movie ASAP. Yup. Yo, ASAP, just like Rocky. And that's it. There's this, but we'll talk about this in a moment. This is one of the girls talking to their mom. Okay, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So this is supposed to be held up as the girls apparently plotting to take down Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. And I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first heard the story reported by like Daily Loud and No Jumper and everything, I genuinely thought that the girls were like planning to like kill them or something or set them up with like some crimes that they didn't actually do. They didn't. Nothing along these lines are happening. Not only did they not do that, they also literally say nice. Wait, I told you to say nice messages and that we are hurt or shit like that. We do love them, but we just don't like the situation. Does that sound like framing? It's framing them for doing what? What did they, what crime were they accusing them of doing, or like what bad thing were they accusing them of doing that they didn't do? That on top of the fact is they were like play the victim, and then they're like, oh my gosh, dumbasses will stick on this and say where her saying play the victim, but not go on to see her saying we are literally victims, but act like we still love them. Isn't that literally the opposite of like framing them? This is literally making them look better. They're literally talking to each other and saying, yeah, this shit's really bad, but pretend like it's not so we can get out of here. How is this framing? So what this reads like to me is that these girls want to get out of here, but without wanting to make themselves look like, but without making themselves get in more trouble or having to talk to the cops any more than they want to. Let me remind you, these girls are a part of an underground sex trafficking criminal organization ring. Would you want to talk for an extended period of time to the cops? Personally, I wouldn't. If I'm going to be honest with you, if I was a part of a criminal organization boy, I could be the goddamn janitor. I'd be getting out of there as soon as possible. Yeah, be like, oh yeah, I have no clue what's going on. Those guys seem okay to me. Don't get into bad water with the dudes who are the literal fucking Romanian mafia affiliated gangsters. Don't get in trouble with the cops, and then get out of there as soon as possible. And then the thing from the article, literally from the article, it says the two girls were caught trying to figure out how to disguise themselves so they wouldn't be recognized by fans in adult sites. Does this sound like they wanted to be that like they're framing them? They're literally trying to escape. But this is a framing, apparently. Bro, only the people with the lowest fucking IQ in the world could think that this is framing. Have you ever seen framing before? What crime were they trying to say they did that they're saying that they didn't actually do? They literally just said that we love them, but we want to get out of here. And we're not sure exactly who any of these girls are. We can kind of have a clue about one of the girls, okay? Because what you can imagine is let's say this isn't like framing, but let's say there's this as well as them claiming that they did something to them or something along these lines, okay? We're not necessarily sure who either of these girls are, but we can have a clue about who one of these girls are. There's an American, as they say, there's an American girl and a girl from Moldova, all right? We don't know much about the Moldovan girl because there were several Moldovan girls. Andrew Tate said himself that he's had up to 75 girls working for him at a time, many of them from Eastern European countries, one of those countries being Moldova, and lots of girls were from there. A couple of girls from the United States were there, I think at least two. So this is one of the girls from the US, and we're not sure exactly which one of these girls are, but we can put something together, okay? We do know that what led to the first raid was one of the girls reached out to somebody who reached out to the US embassy in Romania about like her being kept at like the Taint prison, at the Taint oubliette, okay? And I believe this is the girl that's here, okay? I believe this is this girl because she talks about that. What led to the first raid, if you didn't know, is that a girl reached out to, I believe, an ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend reached out to the US embassy. The US embassy reached out to Tate and the Romanian police, and then the Romanian police then raided the Taint house. But the thing is, they weren't being raided because they were allegedly a part of a human trafficking scheme. No, they weren't. If you thought they were, let me tell you right now, they actually weren't. We can take a look at this really quick. Here's the Wikipedia page about Taint and what happened with the 2022 investigation. On April 11th, which is the first raid that they were talking about, the U.S. Embassy reports that a guy from the U.S. Embassy reports that his former girlfriend, an American citizen, was being held captive at the Taint home in Romania. Romanian police raided the home. The Romanian police raided the home. We know that. And they found an American woman and a Romanian woman that told police that they were being held against their will. An investigation into human trafficking happened and rape by Tate and the Romanian crime organization authorities. But here's the interesting thing. The two brothers were interrogated and then released. And they heralded this as them being like seen as like free mans and they didn't do anything wrong because they got released. But the Romanian police didn't even know that these were the guys who were who were like the heads of the criminal organization, because at the time they were heard as witnesses and not suspects. These guys weren't a part of the investigation. They were thinking the Romanian police in Taint thought that the Tate brothers were also victims and witnesses of this criminal organization. They had no clue that they were talking to the fucking kingpins, and so that's why they released him. And so obviously they were getting released because nobody knew that it was them at the time. They had no clue. None of the girls actually spoke out against them at the time. They just wanted to get out. And we see that here with this, once again, the girls not trying to speak against them. They're like, yeah, we're a literal victim, but play it up a bit so we can get out of here. They're literally trying to disguise themselves to escape. What they wanted to do was go to London. So you can see here from one of the girls, this is her talking to her mom, right? Emma Gabby talking to her family. She's like, I want to, where's this? Where is this? Mom, I want to leave to London. You called for that. It's on you. Tell them to come Tuesday when you leave. Look, if you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. If you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. Now, I'm not sure if she's threatening her mom that she's going to disappear. When now, once in the context of her being like a sex trafficked woman in a criminal organization, her disappearing after saying that like she wants to get out of the Tate house. I mean, it's possible that she could think that she could be like killed or attacked or disappeared by them. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not going to make this claim, but there are other things that there are many things that could be happening because of this. To say like, expect me to disappear, something bad could happen to me. It's possible. We just don't know. Right? We just don't know yet. What's that supposed to mean? I know. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. We're not sure. These dudes must clearly be getting pimped. But it's incredible how somebody could read these. And I got to tell you, once again, I don't think a lot of the guys who are saying that like Tate is exonerated because of this have read these. How you can think that he's going to be, that this exonerates him in any way, shape, or form. This is bad. This looks pretty bad on him. Or at least neutral. And it's just things that we know already, which is girls were being kept there against their will and they want to leave. Now, some people are going to point to something else in here, which is which they would say is going to go against some of the claims that they are being kept in the house. Take a look at some of this. I know you don't believe I can handle this, but I can. I'm not concerned. Tristan doesn't care if I leave the house. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave going because we've made the brothers believe we are in love. They think we will run back. This. So apparently people are going to read this as, oh, look, they're playing the Tate brothers. No, they're literally known for taking girls' passports, for keeping them there, for only allowing them to leave when they have like chaperones. We know this. He said this. Okay. It has also been confirmed by other girls. And it's been confirmed by Tate himself. So I don't know what more to tell you than he literally said that he does that with the girls after he literally said that he's been running a criminal organization, right? They're saying that, oh, we can get out of here, but only after I make them believe that we're going to come back. Don't you think it's strange that if they had like the freedom of movement that some tater tots and Tate simps say that they did, why do they need to like make the Tate brothers believe that they're completely in love with them and that they'll come back for them to be allowed to leave the house? And why does that have to be there for them to not be scared that the Tate brothers would do something? Doesn't this literally imply that if those two conditions were not met, they either can't leave or they'd be scared to leave because of what could happen? This just doesn't make any sense to make this think that this looks good on the Tate brothers in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't care if I leave because we've made them believe that we are in love. They think we'll run back. So if they weren't in love, would they not be able to leave? Or they weren't like think that they were in love, would they not be able to leave? Would they not be able to run back? I mean, based on what the two brothers are saying about how they keep the girls, the answer would be yes. Because we know for a fact from other girls and from Tate himself, or Tate themselves, that they don't let the girls leave unless it's incredibly specific circumstances and or if they have a bodyguard or chaperone that's with them to make sure that they don't escape. Except for certain girls who are allowed to leave the house if they believe that they could like run back and everything, right? And we know that he used some girls to keep other girls in line, bottom bitches, he said. And some people are going to say, going to lie to you, and say that, oh, the bottom bitch, we know that the bottom bitch girls weren't used and it wasn't real because the girls said that they came to Romania on their free will, which is true. They did come to Romania on their free will after being tricked and frauded by the brothers, but they did go there without like explicit force. But that's not what those girls are used for. They're there to rope them into the business, not to get them into Romania. Getting them to Romania is Tate's job. Getting them into the business was the bottom bitch's girl's job. To get them drunk, to get them inebriated, to get them to say yes, bothering them, telling them that I do it, you can do it too. Tate would love you more if you did this. These are the things that they did to get them to get into the business. And that's how those girls would be able to do that. So we know there are girls there who are used to keep other girls in line. And the more you're in love and the more you prove yourself, you're able to move up the ladder. We know this already. This has been proven by Tate himself, right? So none of this is very interesting at all. All of this just altogether, this simply just seems like two girls trying to not get themselves in trouble with the police since they're foreigners in a country. I'm not going to lie to you. If I was a part of a criminal organization in like an East European country, I would do anything in my power possible to not get in trouble with the police. That may just be you. That may just be me. I guess I may be being a bitch boy, but now looking at what the Tate brothers are going through, I think it'd be a great thing for, honestly, not to commit crimes in a foreign country in the first place. But if you do, to keep away from the cops as much as possible. Yeah, or get killed by the mob. These guys are literally working with the fucking mob. It's crazy. This is crazy. And no, like, if you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. That doesn't sound very good. And like some losers like get hung up on this. We have to, I'm dying inside. Let's email Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. So true. Got them, guys. These girls definitely were being kept in a human trafficking house with the Tate brothers for weeks for their Amazon Prime subscription and Hulu subscription. I am very smart. So true. The Tate brothers have been set up this entire time because all the girls wanted their Amazon Prime subscription. Okay, brother. Okay, brother. Play the victim. I mean, we are. It just seemed like what they want to do is play it up and then disguise themselves so they don't get caught by the cops, so they can like disappear and get out of the situation. There is nothing here that shows that the Tate brothers have been framed, that they've been set up. They didn't even say that they were going to play anything up for the cops besides them being scared. But they didn't say that they were going to tell them that they committed crimes that they didn't. You would need that. That's kind of unnecessary to say that they were framed. You know what I mean? That's kind of necessary to the whole framing thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, guys. For this to make any sense whatsoever. Also, this may be the one American girl who said that she was like assaulted by Tate, but we just don't know. We don't know her name, and they haven't made this name like public for this American girl. There are several American girls we know that who are being kept in the house. So we just can't tell. I just can't tell you if this is one of the girls who like claimed that he assaulted her or anything along these lines, because they won't tell us the exact names, which is probably for the best to keep them safe. Once again, the people who are keeping them at the house are working for the literal mob, and we know this, and they said that they were. This has been proven. Okay, this has all been proven, and once again, these are not even wiretaps. But I don't know. Let's I don't know. Maybe let's watch something from somebody who like believes that they're framed. Let's go watch some stupid people. I don't know. Here's XQC reacting to Aiden Ross reacting to Andrew Tate. So let's react to that.
News is true.
I know this is
If a girl really framed him, the girl deserves to go to Romanian prison for life. Solitary confinement.
So true. Solitary condiment.
Confined. Whatever the fuck it is, bro. I don't know. Do I look like a fucking cop? I don't know. Or a lawyer?
A little. Not a lawyer. Definitely possibly a cop.
Real shit though, chat. Send that bitch to fucking jail. By the way.
Okay.
If that news is true,
All right then. Okay. Solitary condiment. Send her away. All right. There's nothing really, no real arguments there. No Jumper like helped report this. So let's see. Let's see what Jumper has to say.
Back to another one. Andrew Tate doesn't seem to be getting free of all the time alleged criminal charges anytime soon. However, he continues to speak his mind and claim himself as innocent. Now that it's been more than 2 months since his arrest, Andrew Tate planned on setting up the Tate brothers by pretending that they were in love with the brothers. See, there we go. They had then planned to, feign ignorance if they were caught in the police raid on Tate's property and discuss using disguises so that they were not recognized following the raids. Andrew Tate has been surprisingly active on Twitter considering his current locale. Cobra recently tweeted that he will be preparing for the battle against the powers who oppose him and believes that there are only 2 possible outcomes going forward. My eyes is fucking with me today.
Well.
Okay. That's probably one of the most biased readings of the situation I've ever heard in my entire life. You know what's incredibly curious? Apparently this last conversation here was happening in the goddamn hyperbolic time chamber. Apparently this was happening in the Dankai from Bleach, because apparently all these girls were able to type in the same minute, in the exact same minute. Okay, so you can see this 10:42:29, 10:42:20. This entire page was apparently happened at 10:42:29, and then this entire page also happened at 10:42:29. So like once again, like I'm saying, I think this is either edited or this was happening in the hyperbolic time chamber, because they've been able to have an entire conversation in the space of like a single second. And if it's fake, I'm not going to lie to you, this would be way funnier if it's fake, because this is all that like an Andrew Tate fan could come up with. Like for trying to frame the guys, for trying to frame the girls as framing the guys. If this is all that they could come up with, holy shit, that's fucking hilarious. It's a word, dude. That's crazy.
They're really trying to watch this guy.
Did y'all see the text messages or whatever where you said it was fake?
No.
Where they said they were trying to frame him? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
To me, this is somebody who's trying to shut them up.
They
are in Romania, bro.
They're trying to watch these boys.
Yep.
Don't they have like a corrupt ass judicial system?
I wouldn't doubt it in the slightest. I mean,
It's
like,
Romania. It kind of sounds corrupt.
I can't really think of too many justice systems that aren't corrupt. And
Just so you know, Andrew Tate literally moved to Romania because he said the justice system is corrupt and he could get away with like raping as many women as he wanted, because, hey, listen, he could just like pay them off. He'll have like a free chauffeur and they'll carry him out of his cell like with like native Romanians like on his back on like a throne, right?
and
To
especially
be honest,
Rabbit hole continues, and let's go into part
He remind me of
five.
the
So earlier
Twinder
today,
swindler.
Sweden has an
My
excellent
enemies,
judicial
my
system.
enemies.
well, you would think Sweden's cool, but then look how they did ASAP Rocky.
A judicial system, man. No judicial system, but he's not from there though.
But still, you feel me? Like,
Didn't they get Freddie too? Was
I think that
Sweden?
was Switzerland.
No, that was Switzerland. You're right.
Whoa.
My bad.
But
All right, let's look at this, Josh.
that were text messages from the 2 supposed victims that came out. One was the Moldovan that we've already covered, and the American. And if you look over those text messages, you could see how not only did they plot to frame the Tate brothers, they rehearsed it, going over what to say, how to look, how to cry, and how to play dumb. They even made a joke 2 days before the raid happened, how their performance deserved an Oscar.
Frame
Set
them
him
up
up.
what?
but I mean,
You'll see this is that people will keep saying, because they've been told and they want to believe, they're framing them. Of what? Framing them of what? Of what? If you were going to frame them, wouldn't you say, we don't love them, we're literally being kept here against our will, please help us? Wouldn't that be framing? But instead of that, it's, I can get out of here whenever I can leave because I made them think they love me. We got to get to London as soon as possible. I may disappear if I don't. And like, let's play. They literally said, let's say we love them, but we just don't like the situation. How in the world could this be framing? Say that we are hurt or shit like that, and that we do love them, but just don't like the situation. They want to leave. How in the world could this be framing when they're just like, say we love them and let's get out of here? Of what? I want one of these guys to answer the question of what? Because I'm genuinely curious.
At the end of the day, if you're
Set them up.
if you're trying to set somebody, that's what they do, though. You feel me? Like that's kind of a thing. You can't really, even if someone gets set up, it doesn't.
They're not even reading it.
It doesn't invalidate the thing that they did.
Entrapment, yeah, it does.
No, it does. First of all, entrapment laws are very misconstrued. Like what people think or that's considered entrapment is not necessarily the same thing. For
He's got been in
example,
jail before.
Wait a minute. Trafficked, and they're sitting there saying we deserve an Oscar and doing this, doing that. It's clear as day that they're getting set up.
true. However, if there's sting operations, like look at like To Catch a Predator and things like that, all those dudes now, granted, on To Catch a Predator, those people, they're not getting like, they're getting booked so they can get put on the registry, but they're not taking those people and like giving them prison terms and things like that. But regardless, this altering the future of their lives
Because that's entrapment.
due to a sting operation, though. You know what I mean?
Are they trying to say Andrew Tate is innocent? Yeah, they're saying that like Andrew Tate was like set up by all the girls that he kept in his like sex trafficking oubliette, that they all were there for his, I guess they didn't like his TikTok, so they flew to Romania to take him down together or something. Because none of this makes sense if you like spend a second thinking about it. What, they flew to Romania because they saw his TikToks and don't like him to be on OnlyFans to take him down? Or what, they were there, but they liked what was going on, but then they didn't, and so then they wanted to take him down? How does this work? What are you saying? I just don't get it. Like after I read everything, I was genuinely surprised that it was such a nothing burger. That I'm genuinely curious, like what they're like, if pressed on the question, if I was able to bring any of these guys on and just ask them, frame them of doing what? Because mind you, all of the most damning things that they were talking about that these guys would like to pull up was happening before the first raid. They were like plotting to frame them before the first raid, and literally one of the girls had somebody that they knew talk to the embassy to get them out. And so if they had the literal embassy, the US embassy, DICOT, and the police, like they knew that they were about to come down and raid the place, and they wanted to frame Andrew Tate, wouldn't they have told the police that Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate were doing this, that, and the third to them? Wouldn't they do it there at the first raid? Why would they wait until like the wiretapping in the second raid to do that? They've already been raided. Why would they wait for a second raid? Or maybe they were waiting for a third or fourth or fifth raid? What about the sixth or seventh raid? Is that the raid that they were looking for? It just doesn't make sense. I just don't get it. These people want Tate to, I would hope my mom would beat me if I did this much like cringe ass capping for like a rapist online all day. This is crazy how you spend your time and like make your personality defending rapists online all day. That's wild to me.
It's a sting operation. So
But what I'm saying is, if these are the said people and they're showing from the wiretap that they set this shit up, why are they still being charged? There has to be more to this.
there's
Just so you know, also, these guys have no clue what the fuck's going on. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate and the two girls that were arrested with them have not been charged of anything yet. They haven't been there are no charges against them yet. They're being held pending charges.
more to this. And it does, like, what's their motive? Is this like an actual law
So
enforcement
true.
operation? Or do
So
they just
true. What's
do
their
this on
motive?
own volition? If they did it on their own volition, then that's for sure some fuck shit. You know what I mean? It needs to be addressed. Now, if this is some type of operation, then that kind of changes the dynamics. Regardless, it sounds fishy.
What was it, a counter operation? Was it the rival mob the rival mob sent in these girls to the mob that Andrew Tate was working with to take down his mob operation and then like dig it out from under it to like weaken the foundation for it to fall so the other mob could get onto this mob's turf. Definitely, this is definitely what would have been happening. I haven't read shit, but it's definitely what's happening. It's like an anime plot.
I know people want to silence these guys for whatever reason, and
So
I'm
true.
not really. I don't like anything in that nature. I don't wish incarceration upon anybody. However, when you start getting
Who the
into
fuck
certain
is this?
sex charges, it becomes a little bit more ambiguous.
Sex trafficking fence
difficult
sitting.
to discern. But
Interesting. Okay, there's nothing of value there. Oh, Sneeko explains them caught lying. Sneeko was well known for being one of the brightest minds and best thinkers of the manosphere space. So I know he's definitely gonna have a thoughtful take on this one. Let's take a look.
So guys, on Sneeko's recent livestream, he talks about the girls who tried to frame Andrew and Tristan but have been exposed for it.
Here is the leaked messages from the girls who accused them of trafficking back in April who called the embassy. Turns out they knew the whole time. Turns out they planned it out and they wanted to get a Netflix series. Let's read it. So at the top, this is the US woman and the UK woman. The US woman is the one who called the US embassy. And there's also messages from the US woman and her mother. And her mother's like, are you actually trafficked? What's going on? This is insane. And you guys should all pressure the soy boys and everybody. When it's actually proven that Andrew and Tristan are innocent, we got to go laugh at them forever. We got to laugh at them forever for preying on people's downfall, for wishing prison on people. I think that's sick personally. So Eliana says, you are a good actress. True. Bear says, I practice. Perfecto. Just play it cool. Got it. Like, you don't know? Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, babe. So here they are. They're planning how they're going to do this. And this is actually really common from women. Do you know that women all know that they can get away with this? We are so good, though, says Eliana. We need a fucking Oscar. Let's go. Eliana says, let's just go play it cool.
So I know Sneeko, it's hard for him to understand this, people playing dumb, because he doesn't have to play dumb. He just is. And so if they wanted to frame him, why would they play dumb to everything? Wouldn't they like say everything, since they're literally in there? Wouldn't they like reveal to the cops at that moment that they knew everything that was going on? They say this, that, and the third. He did this, he did that. They went there. They weren't allowed to go here. If they were trying to frame him, why would they play dumb about everything? Why would they say we have no clue what's going on? What point would that be? Does anybody know what point would be, what would be the point of like saying that you have no clue what's going on? Like, why would you say that? Like, the cops are, you have all of the ears that you would have wanted if you were going to frame somebody and they just didn't. Either they forgot their plan or there was no plan.
She says, I'm going to change my name so it will not start off with something. LOL, says Bear. Got it.
He can't read the letter
says, yeah,
A.
I told you to be like saying a nice message and that we are hurt or shit like that. So we do love them, but just don't like the situation. Look at them plotting it out, planning how they're going to be hurt. And you know what's funny? Right after this happened, look at what they were really doing.
What?
They're in the house all the time. This is them. Does this look like women who are being held against their will?
This is literally their job. It was their job to literally perform. What are you saying? These girls say that they were, do these women who are at this very moment doing sex work, do these women in sex work look like being kept by a sex trafficker, look like they're being sex trafficked? What are they, instead of posting a video of them dancing, were they supposed to post a video of like Andrew Tate like beating them? Like, what do you Look, they're dancing. People who are being sex trafficked, they can't dance. We all know this.
Addicted to attention because of TikTok. And they really want to get away. Bro, these women are completely addicted to TikTok clout. It's not even about money to them. It's just about getting more attention. Look, they want to win an Oscar. They want to go sell it as a documentary. Eliana says, so they will think we are not really against them, you know? Yeah, that's smart. Eliana, play the victim. I mean, we are.
Also, if they were going to frame them, why would they want to think that they're not really against? Wouldn't you, if you wanted to frame them for sex trafficking, wouldn't you want to let the police know that you're against them? They're sex trafficking. What did they want to tell the police that they're actually pro sex trafficking? Guys, okay. When the police come, we need to make sure we set up Tristan and Andrew. What we say is that we love sex trafficking and we love being sex trafficked, so they won't know that we're really against them. And the girls go, oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I see, okay. All right. And then they're going to be taken step 2, ? Step 3, profit.
But like, yeah, act like we still love them and stuff. Okay, not only do they still think, even planning out framing them, they're still saying we are the victim, but also play the victim. Act like we love them. Bear says, ha ha. I mean, we are. Eliana says, wait, what? They're confused. They don't even know if they're or not. They're, and in what world? You know why they think they're victims for some reason?
So, haha, Keck W. Wait, where is this? Here, let me see. Play the victim. I mean, we are. So he's reading this as We are? I read this as, I mean, we are. We are? Like, has he ever talked to a person before? It's just like, play the victim, we are. And then she's like, yeah, we are. But people ask, like, people do this all the time where they say something, but they add a question mark onto it to be like, yeah, we actually are. Did you not think we were? What? Wait, what? They did trip over themselves talking here, but to make this seem like, oh, we actually, wait, is this, I'm sorry, to believe that this is her being like, they were in character the entire time, but then in this moment they fell out of character. Are they doing like a fucking Three Stooges bit in their like WhatsApp DMs? It either has to be the way that I read it, or they're doing a literal fucking Three Stooges bit in their DMs. And that's the only thing that makes sense here, for this to read the way that he's reading it. It just doesn't make sense. I just don't get it.
Even though they're acting, even though they're aware they're acting, they still think that they're victims because this is what we tell women to do.
Wait. So so they've been planning the entire time to take down Andrew Tate, but they also genuinely believe they're victims, but they also know that they're not victims, but they're also playing the victim, but they are victims because they think that they're victims, but they're not. I love Sneeko. He's so smart. His brain is so damn big. It's huge, actually. Probably even the biggest brain the world's ever seen. Wait, let's see. What does Quivering have to say?
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy, but maybe not in Romania. Before we get into this story, just a quick word from this.
Shut the fuck up.
This article, or this bit of news, seems to be kind of creeping out on, first on kind of the gossip sites. It hasn't been covered by any mainstream sites yet. That doesn't necessarily mean it's untrue. It's just an interesting, twist to the story.
It could not be covered because we're not sure if they're real. Because just so you know, I'm not sure if I've made this super clear yet. We don't know if this is real. Yes, if you look at all of the places where this is covered, it's only on like sports gossip sites where they post like allegations of a football player cheating. This has not been covered by any major news organization or publication, not even in Romania yet. And so we're not sure if this is real. We're not sure if this is actually from Dicot or the prosecutor or where it's from. This is all we're going off of, and we're just assuming that they're real. Hello, Stinko. He has arrived.
It says, Andrew Tate is still currently housed in jail amid claims against that allege wiretaps between those who claimed that they were in love with the brothers. They had planned to feign ignorance if they were caught in a police raid on Tate's property, and discussed using disguises so they weren't recognized following the raids. Images of the alleged wiretaps were uploaded to Twitter, and British MMA fighter and actor Tam Khan has called for the release of Andrew Tate and his brother. Khan saying this: "Wow, exposed, free the Tates now. Wiretaps showed that they plotted to frame them." And what you see here is, obviously, I can't read that because it looks like it's in, well, it actually does look like it's perhaps in English. So
Wait a second. He didn't even fucking look at the supposed logs before he pressed record. Wait, did he just see this clip while he just got done jerking off at his desk and then goes, oh shit, I should record, loads up OBS, presses record, and goes, hey guys. Okay.
Check that out. Investigative journalist Suleiman Ahmed released a thread on Twitter revealing the alleged bias against Andrew Tate in the mainstream media. Well, duh. Ahmed called up prominent news outlets BBC and Vice and blasted the organization for a lack of journalism.
Here, let's see.
Disturbing. They should be locked up and immediately exposed. Free the brothers now. This only highlights the corruption in this case. Now, certainly this doesn't, absolve them of literally everything they've been accused of, but certainly we've already seen a scenario where, I'm of the mind that
he hasn't even began reading. Wait. Okay. All right. This video is 60% over and he hasn't even began reading. But he's already, hey guys, I literally saw this article 2 seconds ago. Here's my take. Dude, it's so easy to be a conservative grifter. Holy shit. You have to, you use literally none of your fleeting, none of your fleeting brain cells to make a video and then boom, easy money, huge money. We don't even worry about that. It's too easy. And just so you know, all of this drops at the same time that it's been found out that Andrew Tate's associates put a bounty on KSI's head. KSI, the YouTuber who said that Andrew Tate deserved to be banned from social media platforms, they put a bounty on his head. They said to like look for dirt to try to cancel them and like get at them, hurt KSI, because he said that Andrew Tate, that's it. That's all he said is like Andrew Tate's a bad guy and should be banned from YouTube. Boom, hit out on you. What the fuck? Close associate to Andrew Tate put a bounty on the head of influencer KSI, offering a prize to the Tate follower who made the popular video about the streamer and boxing needs to be condemned and canceled, according to chat logs and other evidence obtained by Vice. Experts had pointed out the manipulation of the tech platforms or algorithms as a central feature of Tate's rise to fame. And he wants his followers to swarm his enemies, something that appears to have been, at least in some cases, directed at Tate's inner circle. Shit's crazy, bro. Now, you want to talk about logs? Let's look at some logs. Going to make a KSI canceled bounty as well. Whoever gets the most views on a video showing KSI needs to be condemned and canceled, the world needs to know KSI is a hypocrite who has done horrible things and he should be canceled himself. You have 48 hours for this one. Be careful not to make it bannable since KSI has done some horrible things. Best video wins. This is unhinged. He's literally asking people to like find shit and make up shit. What horrible things has he done? He's done very bad things. He deserves to be banned. Oh, he should be out of here. Right? He hates Tate. He's a hypocrite. Only thing he's mentioned him doing something bad is apparently not liking Andrew Tate, which apparently makes you a hypocrite, I guess. Good Sneeko clip for social medias. This is a counterattack. This is insane. What is his like Discord profile a fucking Jihad Wojak? Sorry, he's a Jihad Pepe? He's a Jihad Pepe. Okay. This is the counterattack. We're strong. We're hard. Oh yes, this is from the Hustlers University Discord. This is from their community. This is from the Discord you pay like 5K to be in. Apparently this is supposed to help them get like money and start businesses and be rich like Tate, but apparently they just use it to become like attack dogs to attack Tate's enemies, which is the funniest shit I've heard in my entire life. It's so cringe. 2 days later, Luck posted cancellation bounty for Hustlers University Discord. Dude, what the fuck? Luke, aware of the Vice news was coming to film, moved between various Telegram groups and Discord servers, advising students on what Tate content to post to seemingly try to quell fears that YouTube would ban their accounts. On Discord, he did so by using the handle Luck. His name is Luke and he used the handle Luck. He's so hard. What the fuck? Luke works at his computer in Tate's compound. I'm sorry, what the fuck? This shit is so cringe. Why in the world? Why is it so big? Put some glasses on, dog. Wait, what? Why has he got the geezer mode settings on? Holy shit. Every icon is like 5 inches wide. Me, hard at work at my silly little desk in my silly little Discord. Listen, you don't understand how hard it is. It's in the mean streets of being a Discord mod, okay? It's hard work. You got to give people their money's worth, all right? Because 90% of the Hustlers University courses are like phoned in garbage or don't have any teacher. The bounty was just one prong of Tate's campaign. In a video posted on August 24th to Rumble, a platform backed by the oligarch Peter Thiel and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance, that shit's crazy, that promotes itself as immune to cancel culture. I actually didn't know J.D. Vance was, holy shit, it's backed by J.D. Vance? Okay. The infamous child porn site, Rumble. Anyways, wait, what is this? Tate publicly ranted against KSI himself. Tate begins by showing a number of clips from old KSI videos, among which he makes what he called a rape face. This is a personal message to you, KSI. I have no problem with you, but I don't fucking know you. I don't watch your bullshit YouTube channel. But I want, but when I get banned, you want to go from a fan to just instantly cowering out of the Matrix, cowering out to the Matrix. That makes you a hypocrite. That's nothing more than disgusting than a male hypocrite. At least Jake Paul was a man enough to say, stand up for free speech. If you ever fought Jake, I know he would smash your fucking face in. And you want to get, and if you want to get smoked twice, I'll fucking smoke you myself. Holy shit, he's so mad. Trust me on this one. I know a lot about it. I have a lot of experience with rape faces. KSI has previously beaten Jake Paul's brother Logan Paul in a boxing match. That's so funny. He's so mad. Do not write in the newspapers that I'm mad. Anyways, so there ends the memes of the new update with the Tate brothers. I do not believe that they're getting out anytime soon. I do not believe that they're going to be exonerated because of this. Everybody's saying that this is like an exoneration of them or proof that the girls were lying or something. We have no clue. That's just not true. It's literally just not true. The claim that they framed them makes no sense when we know what's going on. Like once we know what's going on here and once we read through what's happening, it just, nothing here makes sense that they're like trying to frame him. Why in the world would they disappear if they're trying to frame them? Why in the world would they not tell the police that they've been wronged once they got there and they committed crimes if they wanted to frame them? Why would they be wanting to leave? Why would they talk about how they needed to convince the Tate brothers to be able to let them leave the house if they weren't being kept there against their will, or at least by some levels of force? Nothing here makes sense. And actually it works against the Tate brothers that the girls were known in private talking about how they needed to like lie or convince the Tate brothers to get them to leave the house before any of the raids even happened. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Oh, and also one last thing. If you hear somebody tell you that they've been looking for evidence against the Tate brothers for 10 months, that's not true.
This name is very real.
As we read, they weren't being suspected of committing crimes until just before, until like about December or November of last year, where like the police finally got like a warrant to arrest them because they suspected them of crimes. The first raid, they didn't think that they were that they were criminals. That's why they released them. If they thought they were criminals before, why didn't they release them? Like, why did they release them? And why did they say that they didn't interview them in the capacity of them being criminals? I hope I've made it clear that the more you think about this, the less it makes sense that they were framing them, and more like they're trying to get away from a literal criminal organization tied from the mob, and they didn't want to spend any time talking to the police. Which I wouldn't either, if I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, as long as you don't let them know like in what capacity you were there for, it's hard for them to take you down. All right, because 2 of the girls are in jail for aiding and abetting the Tate brothers. They don't talk about that. They talk about the 2, but there are 2 women that are also in prison right now, for helping them. So more dipshittery from the tater tots. You love to see it. The funniest thing about it is that no amount of bitching and moaning is going to get the Romanian police to release them. If they get released, it will be because there's no evidence actually against them. I don't know how true that really is, but I don't know. If it is, we'll find out. But until then, I'm not going to make any like crazy claims that they need to be like hung or something, or like kept in jail or let out of jail. I don't know. There's no charges against them at the moment. But there is enough evidence to make it seem like they should probably be kept in jail for now to see what's going on. I highly doubt they're getting out of this, though. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I highly doubt. But there's your Taint update. Hope you liked it. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.